cat? Fat cat's ready? Or are you a little blob? Or are you a little dark as night freakazoid? Ooh, look at that happy little cat. What a little buddy, huh? Oh, little buddy. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's Wednesday night. GME had its earnings call, and I nailed it. I said it was going to be a loss of 1 cent a share, and it was exactly a loss of 1 cent a share because we all know that I think Ryan Cohen is like perfectly fudging them books so that Q4 will be like showing profit for the entire year. On beating earnings estimates by like, what, 8 cents, something like that, 10 cents, somewhere around there. The shorts, of course, took that as awful news and hammered the stock price down after hours, back below 15 bucks. So, you know, that's what they do, yo. In the pump and dump case, the plan administrator filed to take over. He's like, hey, we're taking over. We'll file a superseding complaint. Tip, jop, boom, bing. And such is life. There's another weird filing today that showed there's only 2,700 owners of BBBY, which that seems strange. Units of BBBY. No one has an answer for that. Might be that that's how many people were direct registered by the time, you know, the accounting was taking place. I don't know. And people are messaging me late at night again. I always give my roommate a warning that I'm about to do my show. All right. So there you have it. And guess what? I think I fixed the audio, and I think I fixed the visual so that I can give you the butterfly intro in proper aspect ratio. Are you guys ready for it? I know you guys are ready for it. You're always ready for it. Shwing.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yay! All right, butterfly intro off. Hopefully it didn't blow anyone's ears out. Did I fix it? Did that work? Because I can't hear it when it's playing. All right, so might as well get to the boards here because I didn't really give you guys too much time. Notice I just got back from the gym after like getting fuego. Forte. That's what I'm doing. So just rolled in. I'm still very weak and I get exhausted quite easily. So that's the stage we're in at the moment. But good thing is I ran to one of my friends at the gym today and he started this week after a year off too. So we both felt like we're about to puke and or shit ourselves after about half an hour of getting buff. So I'll have a beach bod by next week for Miami. We'll be ready to go. Ludicrous Speed was first. Hey. Getting right in there. Kelly Reed, number 2. DK second. No, DK did not get second. Marcus Hoffman, not first, not second, not third. Marcus Hoffman, he can count. Kelly Reed, Houston. What are your thoughts on the DRS shares recorded at 75.4 million? Speculation is that there's a max limit from the DTC of 75.4 million shares, and they won't report any higher number. Well, shall we do some math? So 75.4 million. Let's go to Chrome because I actually called this up not too long ago. That's what I want. Okay. So this is the Morningstar report. This is showing Class A registered shares. Now, this is the top 20 or so. The top 20, there's 46,751,590. Okay. So I got a calculator. You can't quite see the calculator yet, but I put that number in here. Clear. 46,751,751 and 590. Okay, and then you had 75.4 million. So 75,400,000. Okay, and let's look at institutional holdings here. Institutional top 20, 75,770,000. So plus 75,770,000. Okay. And we have insider ownership. Dividends, executive, maybe executive. Nope. That's not what I want. I want ownership still. Ownership. Major owners. No. Concentrated. They don't have inside ownership. Let's see if I can do an inside ownership. GME inside ownership. Insider activity. There we go. Okay. Do we have shares held? Okay, here we go. Oh, that's a lot of them here. Is this all? Oh, these are all transactions. I want number of shares held. How do I do number of shares held on the NASDAQ page? I don't want their transactions. I want what they own. Just did that. I want trading. I don't want trading activity. Don't give me the trading activity. I want the list of what they own. Insiders purchase that many shares. I don't care about how many they purchase. I want to know how many they own now. How many they own now. Duh. Goodness gracious. How come I can't find that? Insider positions. GME, make it simpler. It's got to be in there somewhere. I don't want their insider activity. Game Square. I don't want Game Square. What the hell are you talking about? Oh, because I did do game. Bink, bink. There we go. Insider trading. I don't want insider trading. Insider trading activity. Still trading activity. Recent transactions. God, maybe it is on here and I just can't find it. So. I just have to go by person and just see what they have here. First of all, what's Ryan Cohen's current position? It's got to be like 40 million, something like that. Cohen Ryan. Boom. About 400,000 shares. Don't tell me how many he has, though. Wait. Maybe it does. Maybe I did that wrong. So it's 36 million. So Ryan Cohen's 36 million. There we go. 36,847, 842. Plus 36,847, 842. Plus, that's 234,769,000. Okay. Let's see here. Who else is a big player? Let's do Daniel Moore. He's got 40,000. Who gives a shit? Mark Robinson. He's got 300,000. Okay, so there's another 300,000 added to that. We've got Chang. He's at about 200,000. Okay. Oh no, 55,000. Sorry. Atlin, 500,000. Okay. Patel. He's at 1 million. Okay. So let's say that another 2 million there so far. Zhang. 200,000. Word. Groob. Come on, Groob. Come on, Groob. You can do it, Groob. 20,000. All right. Any other big names in there we should pay attention to? Atlan. Sada. 100,000. Okay. Did those guys. So I had a couple million onto the sucker. Probably G Group. It's all the same dudes over and over again. Anyone different? Nope. See institutional holdings. What's NASDAQ institutional holdings have here? Institutional ownership's at 28.4%. I had it at 125 million, which I think is significantly higher than that. Total institutional shares, 86 million. Okay, so if we go to our calculator, we're at 234 million plus about 2 million from other insiders, so we'll add another 2 million in there. So 236,769,000. Basically, that's saying, because that's registered institutional funds insiders, right? 236 million, 237 million, somewhere around there, which leaves about, what is it, 306 million total that are outstanding shares. So that leaves about 70 million that are unaccounted for. These could be folks like me that haven't registered. Yeah, somewhere around there. It could be other family funds that don't have to declare. We have a whole bunch of family funds that have positions and they just aren't declaring. I don't know if it's not getting higher because maybe everyone who's on the registration train has already registered and they've done that, and everyone else, you got a whole bunch of pension funds not paying attention. You have individual retail investors who, they bought their shares, forgot about it, they're doing their own thing. You've got people that don't give a shit about DRSing who are on there. Yeah, so I don't know if they won't let any more DRS or if just those folks just aren't anymore. But it's interesting that we've accounted for a pretty good number, and there's a whole bunch of retail investors who don't pay attention to things like DRSing and they can't be bothered. And so I think there's a significant number of them who have not bothered doing any of that yet. So that's probably where we are. Boom. For a second there, I thought I may have forgotten to turn off the intro, but no, I did. Okay. Brandon Wells is here. Kelly Reed, that was just naked short selling. Oh, from the above, yeah. James Reams, Norm McDonald was a pigeon. He was a pigeon in that Mike Tyson Mystery Crew show. Okay. Mark Soffren. Woo! The cheese is here. Houston, are you going to let me rub your beard in Florida? I mean, I will have a little bit of one probably by then. I got another week of growth left on this thing, right? So, sure, why not? Only if you look me in the eyes while you're doing it. Person I think GME will rebound tomorrow. It'd be interesting to see what they do if they can push it back up into gamma zone again by Friday. Won't it? Like, think they got anything in their back pocket? Any little tidbits they can add into it? I don't know. Oh shoot, I released super chats. Stephanie L, thoughts on Neely Doss appeal? Oh yeah, Neely Doss appealed today too. I mean, this guy might be the first person remanded to prison for contempt of court in a bankruptcy trial. Neely, give it up, dude. They're going to send your ass to jail for wasting the court's time. Federal judges do not play around with this crap. You're going to get your ass handed to you. So stop it. Stop it right now. Give up. Admit you're getting played and just stop it. If you're going to do anything, Neely, sue outside of court. Like, you're wasting bankruptcy court's time. The plan's been made. The plan's done. They're enacting their shit. They're getting a credit bid ready. Let them get their credit bid ready. Because according to IRS Rule 382, if there's a successful credit bid and they're going for the nulls, then we get made whole again. So stop it, you dumbass. Just stop. For Christ's sake, man. Like, buy a clue. I'm sure someone else is pulling your strings right now, and they're totally fine with you, like, spending a few months in jail for contempt. Like, give it up, dude. Give it up. Brandon Miller, David Grush on Bob Laser UAP reverse engineering. I don't know anything about that. I know if it involves Bob Laser, it's a hunk of shit because that guy is a complete con man. A lot of people bring up Bob Laser to me. Bob Laser, I'm a physicist. I worked for defense contractors. No, you have one semester of community college under your belt and you mopped floors. So you're not a physicist. You're not an engineer. You never had like a contract with the government. You were hired by a cleaning crew to mop floors somewhere. But, you know, he spins a good tale and people buy into it a lot. And he's been doing it for 50 years now. In 50-year time, like, you'd think something he engineered would work, right? But no, he's got in trouble for basically flim-flamming people on stuff. But I don't know, David Grush, is that David Grush? Is he the guy that was went for Congress? Yeah, the whistleblower guy. David Grush's problem is that he is not a first-hand witness to any of this stuff. He's, everything he testified to is like, well, my buddy told me this. And that's not going to hold up. He has to be the dude who's like, yes, I saw it with my own eyes, and it was this thing. He said he would do a SIF interview, and then apparently never did one. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm okay with there being aliens. I'm okay with you know, the government having secret alien bases where they maintain people and whatnot. But the people who are whistleblowing, they're not doing a very good job of it. Like, the whistleblower you need is like the lieutenant colonel who was in charge of some program and has like a piece of unobtainium that he can show everybody. That's the person he whistleblowing, not the person who mopped floors and then lied about being a physicist. That's not the person you want. But, meh. So, there you have it. Okay. Star Warrior. Oh, dang it. Just reset. Where'd you go, Star Warrior? He disappeared. Star Warrior. There we go. Damn. Anything from MMTLP? MMTLP has some new filing. The new filing from MMTLP is the third amended S1, where basically they reiterate, you must direct register your shares, or else you will not get the dividend of new co-shares. And they do make a caveat that says if you try to DRS your shares and your broker won't do it for you, you have to do some sort of jump through a hoop thing, and then your broker is responsible for providing those shares to you. I know folks that are in E-Trade haven't been able to DRS. Folks that are in Webull can't DRS. As an Allied also can't DRS. A lot of people in Apex related ones having a hard time. Plus, all the ones in Webull are probably lent out anyway. So how do they get the shares back in order to DRS for you? So my suggestion is call the compliance officer for your broker. You know, call up, say, hey, I need to speak to your compliance officer. And they're going to go, fuck, all right, fine. They're going to make the compliance officer available to you. You explain to them what's happening. You say, hey, there's this S1 from MMTLP, from the NextBridge, and they're saying that I have to DRS my shares. I bought my shares through your brokerage. You should have my physical shares. DRS them. You're required to by law. And they might give you some runaround excuses and be like, hey, you're the compliance officer. Fucking comply. and eventually you'll probably be like, they'll probably be like, oh, God damn it. All right, fine. And they're going to figure out a way to DRS them for you. So that would be my suggestion if you are in any of those brokerages that will not let you currently DRS your shares if you're trying to. So yeah, that's That's what you should do. That's the latest from there. As far as MMAT, I can't talk about MMAT, but I will say that if you're in a company and your stock price is like 7 or 8 cents when it should be like $20, what I would do if I were in charge was I would find an alternate method of financing. Rather than selling more shares into the market or doing a reverse split and selling more shares in the market, I would, instead of destroying everyone's investment, I would announce that I'm going to do a share buyback. Get some financing, $30, $40 million. Ain't much. Stock's not worth shit. And I would do this extra, some kind of financing. I started doing a stock buyback. I would buy back as much as possible. Like, you have, I don't know how much is in the float at the moment. Let's say it's 100 million shares. So 100 million shares in the float, calculator game, bopping. Okay, so clear, 100 million shares. You got to buy up. They're at currently 8 cents. So you only need $8 million to buy up, like, probably the float, right? Let's say it's 50% more than that. Okay, $12 million. Whatever. You can pull that out of, like, your butt, right? So you buy up every single share you can, except for a smidge. Like, you look at the calculated float, you buy up everything except for, like, 10,000 shares. Just leave a little bit there. And then you make an announcement. You say, hey, sorry, the market isn't working our way. We're going to do a stock buyback. We're going to make an offer to take the company private. So any remaining shares, we're going to buy back at $10, $20 a share, right? Honeypot them. Just honeypot them. You bought back like 99% of the float. There's that 1% left that's still out there, but there's a lot of people who still think they have shares, right? They still think they have them. And so you say, okay, there's 20,000 shares out there left, and we're going to pay $20 a share for those remaining 20,000 shares. And then we're going to be done. We're going to close it up and we're going to take the company private. That will result in a gigantic payment in lieu for every short seller out there, and you will drain them of probably billions of dollars. And they take the company private. You fucked all the shorts over. And then if they want to try you again, you can be like, hey, we're going to go public again. We're going to file paperwork, issue shares, blah, 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 blah. They're going to come out at this starting price, blah, blah, blah. And the shorts are not going to want to tempt you again because you will just do it all over again. You will buy up the entire float. You will do a buyout to take the company private when there's a little bit left. And you can just do it all. You can go do it again and again and again. Let's say you can get a loan for $30 million. You've got a boatload of IP that can be used. You can take out loans against that IP as you sign a licensing deals and stuff. So why not? If you were a company that had share price really, really low and you had access to the way to finance such an adventure. So why not do that? Why would you sell a cajillion, 150 million more shares at 7 cents and then do a stupid reverse split so the shorts can short you right back down again? That's playing right into their game. Don't play into their game. Give them the finger. That seems to me the proper thing to do is to give them the giant and make it so they never want to deal with you again. So, if that was my company, that's what I would do. Yeah. So, yeah. But, it's not my company, so I'm just some idiot. Some idiot talking about a hypothetical company that should be doing something to really screw over the shorts. And it could be beautiful and glorious. Okay. Citizen 54. Democrats have introduced the End Hedge Fund Control of American Homes Act 2023, prohibits funds, corporations, etc. from buying single-family homes and forces them to sell off over a 10-year period. I can dig it. Yeah, I mean, I would go a step further and I would limit homeownership in general. I would limit 4 homes. You're allowed 4 homes to own, period. And that's it. Gives you you know, if you're a rich person, you got your Malibu mansion, your New York penthouse, your Miami mansion, and your private island, right? Or ski out. Four seems reasonable. If you're a landlord, you know, if you've got more than 4 homes to take care of, you're going to be a slumlord. They're going to be garbage. You're going to have some crappy property management company watching it for you. No one's going to be happy. Yeah. So turn those giant apartment buildings into condos, sell them off, get people moving into them. I would limit the ownership of homes. Families, entities, whatever, 4 homes, that's it. Can't own anymore. And put a caveat in language. If you try to usurp this with shell companies, whatever, I don't know, we get to like put a broom pole up your pooper or something publicly in front of everyone and parade you around. But I do think it's a great start. Take private equity out of home ownership. They should not be owning and controlling the price of homes that way. And, you know, they put the market at a real disadvantage when they could crash the entire economy based upon their like uncontrollable buying of homes and then keeping them so no one else can get them. Screw those guys. So there you go. Ludicrous speed. In a free and fair market with regulators who actually do their jobs and aren't corrupt, companies that beat earnings estimates would see their stock price go up. Yes, they would. That would be exactly what you would see happen. All right. Marcus Hoffman, as long as the monkey butt cam is working, the intro video can be whatever aspect ratio. I discovered why the monkey butt cam wasn't working. So the monkey butt cam's right? And the cable runs down under my keyboard tray to the computer. Because I tried getting to go around and it just didn't work. And I actually taped it to the bottom of the keyboard tray. And the tape came undone and my foot kept hitting it, slightly unplugging it a little bit. So I put the tape back in there. It's all set up. Hopefully the monkey butt cam, or right now it's the Trooper Batman cam, because look at this little guy. Oh, he's such a little sweetums. Look at him. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. What a little squishy bear, huh? What a little squishy bear. Oh, jiggle, 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 jiggle. He's lost 3 pounds. I tell you that? He's lost 3 pounds. He was 19 pounds. Now he's 16 pounds. So the little round pound of mound, round mound of pound, round mound. He's getting svelte. So, you know, we're working on it. He can jump up onto the counter again. So he wasn't able to do that when he was 19 pounds. It was like, and then he wouldn't get anywhere. So we're good. We're good. All right. Guys, for the long term, hello. Jason Blackwell. Uh-oh. Houston. Unfortunately, the hooked. Oh, hooker. Autocorrect got you on that one. Unfortunately, the hooker I was banging died on me. The practical upshot was the second hour was free. Buddy. Okay. Cheney looked and sounded perfect. Yes. Kelly Reed, Wall Street CEOs at today's banking hearing claimed that the sky was falling again with incomplete and misleading testimony. Wall Street banks have been screaming that every rule proposed since the 1930s would grievously hurt the economy, financial system, and the American people. What's amazing is that the rules are never what hurt anyone. It's the removing of the rules that causes cataclysmic catastrophe in the markets that then hurt people. So, which rule specifically is causing them trouble? Like which one? Which little rule is hurting your feelings and you can't do things? Because right now the thing that's hurting you guys is that we had to print $20 trillion 3 years ago, and you guys went on a spending spree. Just bought stock, like pumped these 7 tech stocks well beyond any rational prices. Like, if these 7 tech stocks were crypto coins, people wouldn't care, right? Like, oh, well, there's like 1 billion Apple coins, so a price of $150 an Apple coin makes sense. Like, but because they're stocks, we're like, oh no, this is pumping too high. But here you have Bitcoin at $42,000, and people aren't thinking that at all. I don't know. It's all pumped. There are too many people in the world. There's too many of us. There's 8 billion of us. And we all want to be able to retire, right? And in order to retire, you got to invest. And to invest, you got to buy Smapple. So if you got 8 billion people all trying to retire, they're all trying to get their hands on Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Nvidia, Facebook, right? ARM, whatever. Then what you gonna like? Then what? There's not 8 billion shares of any of those companies, so no one can get just one. So the price is going to go well beyond where it should based upon their earnings. But in this case, we have banks competing with that. So we've got your BlackRocks and Vanguards, each owning just under 10% of every single company in existence. So already you're carving out a fifth of all available stock is being owned by just 2 index funds, right? They own, between the 2 of them, they own roughly 18 to 20% of every single solitary company that trades in the NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, OTC, Nippon, Frankfurt, London, Hong Kong. Like, that's it. They own 20% of everything. So then you add in, Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund, Norwegian Sovereign Wealth Fund, French Sovereign Wealth Fund, Teamsters Union, Teachers Union, Government Employees Union, all these pension groups, and then there's just not enough of the meaty good stuff, the A-lister tech stocks that everyone wants in the end. And so the price of those things are just gonna fly compared to everything else. Because if you have the choice, like, hey, do you want to own Google or do you want to own, some company never heard of and never used? And they're like, oh, I'm gonna own Google. So everyone's gonna flock to the Googles and the Facebooks and the Apples and stuff. So, we'll see what happens to the whole SPY when everyone pulls out. I mean, I think they're pulling out right now with the way gold prices are going. But G-Font, who pays a dividend when a short is marked long? Yeah, I think the broker should have the ultimate ledger on that, right? Yeah, the short is reporting falsely. The broker, though, is like, but you had FTD and I had to steal a share from this guy to close the clearing, and so I know you're short. The short still should have to pay the dividend on a short one marked long. The shorts do weird things, man. When they're doing their own repo facilities, so they're taking their collateral, their blue chips and their treasury bonds, and they give them as collateral to their lender and take some cash, quick one, might be day-long loan, 1 week or 1 month, quick exchange. They do a trade, get the cash back, collect their collateral. What the hedge funds will do, right, is that while they have that cash, the collateral is not in their possession. It's in the bank's possession. They're prime lenders, prime brokers. And they then report that they have that asset and that they sold that asset. So they both have it and sold it, and they got this cash. So they will report basically twice as much assets as they actually have because they're doing a short play on a margin on this repo call. And they fuck up the books constantly. And they do it all just to mess with any regulators who may be paying attention, which there aren't because there's not enough regulators and they can't afford to pay attention. And what ones are there, just bounced over from Goldman Sachs and they're going to look the other way anyway. It's weird. So G-Font, I don't honestly know, but I would guess that the broker just kind of sucks the money out of the account when the dividend comes and they go, ugh, just going to take this and pay that. And that's what they do. And the shorts go, meh, I tried. That'd be my guess on what happens there. But if anyone has a better idea, throw it my way. I mean, probably anything's plausible at this point because it's such a cloud of mystery that, just the cheese, beard, no beard, I want to rub. You're going to make Jimmy D jealous there, the cheese. So, look out. You might find like a horse head in your bed. Okay. That's for long term, so I know the gym is working. Oh, that after about half an hour, I feel like I'm going to just shit everywhere. Yep. I as a former athlete, my brain is too competitive, and I will say it's not healthy to play sports against me. Even if I am terrible at it, I will be determined to win, and I'll be mean about it. And it's a flaw in my character, but I must win. So when I go to the gym, I must win, even though I know that I'm completely out of shape. And there are people who are totally, there's like, my gym is not full of hot people. It's full of like buff 80-year-olds. There are like little 80-year-old grandmas who could probably tear my arms out the limbs like a chimpanzee. And I'd just be sockets walking around. This is the buffest old people in the world go to my gym. But I must compete with them. I'm like, oh, guy, you just did 300 pounds? Well, I'm going to do 310. And then I feel like my hamstring's going to explode or something. That is, I don't know, maybe it's an attribute, but right now it's a complete flaw that I have. And I need to stop trying to compete with people who have been going to the gym consistently for a long period of time and thus are in good shape. But my brain cannot accept that fact. It just won't. There's one area where my lizard brain is stronger than my rationality. So, all right. Anyway, Citizen 54, Italy withdraws from China's Belt and Road project. Thus, project is floundering as countries like Sri Lanka default and others seek to restructure the deal. China's economy is already struggling. Yeah, so China's problem with the Belt and Road Initiative is their entire plan was, hey, we're going to lend you this money. You're going to pay us to build this infrastructure for you, and then you owe us on this giant loan we use to build this infrastructure. And if you don't pay us, we're going to take it over. Well, they did shady shit. Like, Sri Lanka struck a deal. We did a fundraiser for Sri Lanka last year because they were in dire straits. Sri Lanka, the government of Sri Lanka was like, hey, we need to use the government purchasing power to get fertilizer because our farmers are poor, but we have a lot of crops we got to grow because we got a lot of people to feed and we got to do exports. So they did this deal with China to get this huge bulk shipment of fertilizer from China. China's like, cool. This China sent the fertilizer and it was poisonous and it killed all the agriculture. Just destroyed the food crops all over Sri Lanka. So then Sri Lanka didn't have food. And if they don't have food, they don't have exports. They don't have exports, they can't buy oil. Then all of a sudden, no one can drive, no ships can come in and out, power grid is failing. And then China's like, where's our money for this loan? And then Sri Lanka's like, fuck you. You just tried to kill our entire island. So now you got beef, right? And then you got countries like Italy going, why would we want to be a part of that? We have our own noodles. We've got our tomatoes. We have windy roads we can drive our Ferraris on. I think we're okay, right? So yeah, it's not going to go well. Like, the U.S. did shady things when we were being economic hitmen. Famous examples of it were Jamaica's currency was failing, so they needed IMF and World Bank loans. And, Jamaica has some successful agriculture, right? They have their own farms. They grew lots of fruits and vegetables and rice and other things. And they had like dairy farms, local dairy farms. You need milk? Well, you got a local farm down the road. Milk will end up in the store, or you can go to the farm itself, get your own milk. And part of the caveats for Jamaica to get these loans was like, hey, Jamaica, we'll give you the loans to stabilize your currency, but you have to allow imports from the United States for like dairy and meats. And Jamaica's like, okay, I guess so. So all of a sudden, Jamaica got flooded with American milk that was undercutting them at like, 30 cents on the dollar for the Jamaican milk. So all the Jamaican farmers went out of business. Just poof, gone. And then they flooded the country with chicken. So all the local growers of chicken were gone. And what they discovered was, this is like 1995, right? And what they discovered was that the chicken that they were flooding into Jamaica with was chicken that had been frozen since the 1960s that we had never sold in the U.S. So not only did they destroy all the local agriculture in Jamaica for these loans, but they did it with 30-year-old chicken. Like freezer burned 30-year-old chicken that's not edible for dogs, right? And that's what they did to destroy the agriculture in Jamaica. Like, we did some really, really shady stuff with IMF and World Bank. And I'm glad that the U.S. is leaving the economic hitman market, because I think it was absolutely terrible. But while we gave people subpar food, right, we didn't poison their land so they could never grow anything again. Like, that's just like one extra step that we didn't think, oh, we could have just poisoned all of Indonesia. That would have been perfect. Like, that's what China is doing, because either A, they did it on purpose, or B, you can't trust any Chinese manufacturing to not put, like, melamine in anything. Remember when they were like putting melamine in like toothpaste and baby formula and shit and just like killing people? But yeah, China's Belt and Road, I think they went a little too hard, too quick, and they were doing the entire Belt and Road Initiative with money they basically took from the U.S. anyway. So I don't know. It was a very grand project. We'll see how successful it is now that their economy is shrinking a lot, and they're going to lose a lot on their exports in the next couple of years. ECB soon close tomorrow, Monday? Sure. Why not? Poor taste in porn. Likes that one, Jason. Yeah, poor taste in porn. Liked your hooker joke. I think you found your demographic on that one. Right, Monkey? Right, buddy? Yeah. Monkey's like, dead hooker jokes. Okay. Poor taste in porn. I hope somebody sues Neely Doss for frivolous Crayola for breakfast. Neely Doss needs to get his head shoved into a toilet. MS Houston, sorry, but what exactly is happening in Miami? I hope there's a buffet. I'm flying to Miami to hopefully have a really nice buffet, and I will eat my body weight in those little teeny tiny corns and shrimp cocktail. So that is what I think is happening in Miami. Basically, PP Show folks and Bill Pulte are having a party, and a viewer bought a ticket to this party and was like, I'm out of the country and I can't make it. Would you like my ticket? And I was like, okay. So I'm going to the party. And then I'm going to go check out a whole bunch of buildings that my grandfather and great grandfather designed and built all over South Florida. So that's the side part. You guys will, if you follow me on social media, you'll just see so many pictures of Spanish colonial style buildings. And you'll be like, wow, that's another Spanish colonial building. But it was what my grandfather and great grandfather built. And they built so many. There's a few robber barons that were developing South Florida, and apparently my grandfather and great grandfather were like the go-to guys for the construction of all these communities in Coral Gables, Melbourne, Florida, Coconut Grove, Miami Beach, Miami itself, etc. And then they got wiped out by the Great Depression. No one was building anything. So my grandfather moved to Norfolk, Virginia, where they're building a gigantic military base in preparation for World War II in like 1940. And so that's why my dad ended up graduating from Norfolk High School and whatnot, and going to school at Virginia Tech, was because of that. So, and then my dad basically had a career also designing Navy buildings for the last 50 years, 60 years, 70 years. How old is he? 65 years or so. Yeah, so became a family thing. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing in Miami. First Day Productions, I'm late to the show, so I have no questions at this time. That's okay. How late am I? Only 11. You're only 11 minutes late at that point. Maybe 10 minutes late, because I think I started a minute late. But you're okay. Carlos R. Happy birthday, Wade. Are we rich yet? Love you, man. Only in friendship at the moment, but I think I have a hair in my eye. Problem with going bald at age 42 is that hair falls into your eye. Okay. Marcus Hoffman, Houston, I think what Kelly means, the DRS record has been the same for a long time. I thought they announced it had grown in Q2, but I could be misremembering things. But I think the DRS fervent individuals have all DRS at this point. I haven't heard anybody like having a problem trying to, if they are trying to do more. You also may have folks that DRS'd and then, got cancer and they're like, oh shit, I got to sell my shares. But they don't want to tell anyone they're selling the shares, but they got to like issues to deal with. Their house might be getting foreclosed on or something. So you could have some attrition happening in there. Okay. Oh. Okay, that's the toilet one. All right. J. King, Houston, good morning. Great late night. Your thoughts? If we transfer our shares to AST, would we be able to trade if 2 days are approved, and would transfer take place in time? AST, I'll be honest, AST trading sucks. You basically call them up and you're like, hey, I'd like to trade my shares. And they go, okay, we will make them available this Friday, and we'll put everything at the market. They have a terrible system when it comes to trying to sell shares. I think the way NextBridge is thinking is that there will not be 2 days. What they want is a boatload of shares registered. They want to issue this new equity that the shorts cannot get their hands on, so that when they do like go public again, or there's a deal to buy the oil fields or whatever, that there are accounting problems that are a nightmare for the shorts. I think that's what they're looking at doing. Apparently there's a giant letter being signed by like 100 members of Congress for Gary Gensler to be like, pull your head out of your ass and give us some answers. We've given you a year to figure this out. And Gary's been basically just like ducking them, like, oh, dodge, bob, weave. I've heard of this MMTLP thing, but I'm not too familiar with what's going on. That seems to be his answer every single time he gets on the stand. And just hold Gary in contempt, Congress. Be like, hey, Gary, we asked you this question 8 months ago. You said you're going to look into it. You haven't looked into it so far. It takes you about 30 minutes to look into it. So we're going to put you in the jail in the bottom of the Capitol, and we're going to hold you there until you've had time to look into it. And then once you have time to look into it, you can give us some proper answers, and we will take you out of contempt. But I do think that getting people a little hard on those things could be a great motivator for giving you the answers you want, right? Or the answers you need, I should say. Connor, thoughts on RC and what he will do with investments and what they will buy. Oh yeah, the other thing in the earnings was they got $1.2 billion, $1.12 billion, somewhere around there, of cash on hand, and the board approved an investment strategy that'll be run by basically Brian Cohen, and as CEO and chairman. And I would not doubt seeing GME be built into a holdings company after that. Taking a large stake in something, doing leverage buyouts of other companies, and then building from there. Because remember, was it the 10Q or the 8K? One of them that came out last quarter, they mentioned merger and acquisition 98 times. And it was like 250 pages versus the previous ones, which were all like 8 pages long. So I do think GME is poised to make some really big moves. And I do think he's saving. Q4 will be huge earnings per share. It will not only beat expectations, it will be enough to make the company profitable for the year. And really just home run, right? Monkey's staring at me now, but she doesn't realize. Oh no, I do have these things. I forgot about that. That's right. I've got the beef strips. I forgot about the beef strips. Did this come from Ava? Did this come from you, or did this come from Mr. Michael? I can't remember. One of you two, because you guys sent me packages like the same day. And, oh, that smells terrible. Oh my gosh. This dog will love it. Oh, this is stinkier than the stinky chicken. Get your ass up here, monkey. You want a beef strip? Want this? Sheet of paper. Sheet of beef paper. Beef papyrus, right? You want to write a novel on this thing? A scroll, perhaps? Yeah? Yeah? Oh, there, just take that thing. All right. Whew. Oh, god damn. It smells like just like stinky high school or something. Whew. Everything I touch is going to have beef paper stink to it. Okay. Where was I? Zebra Cove, that guy, man. I swear I need to go to Dublin, California and pimp slap him. Neely, just stop. Just stop. Just stop it. Just stop it. Stop it. Stop. 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 Stop it. Put one of those like dog shock collars on him, like, no, no, no. Spray him with a bottle of water, vinegar in it, like the cat. Hoboken Sal. In the field of intelligence, often the best and most effective disinformation lies in misinformation. Sure. I mean, police investigations, government investigations discovered that the anti-Quran demonstrations that were happening in Scandinavian countries like Sweden and Finland were organized by Russian intelligence. So they're trying to poison the chance of Sweden and Finland joining NATO by making it so Turkey would veto their joining. And of course, the rabble rouser in there was Russia, who didn't want Sweden and Finland to join Norway. So, yeah, disinformation works really well. Plus, 1 in 3 people are basically dumb as shit. They cannot be trusted to tie their own shoes or to make decisions for themselves. They're just really stupid. And so it doesn't take much to get that really stupid person on your side. So you can basically guarantee, like, hey, I've got 3 people here. I can get one of them on my side, and I guarantee I can like, it doesn't want to be that hard. And then you get that second person on your side. Well, that might just take one little finagle, one little nudge in the emotion department, and they're like, oh, okay. And then they realize their mistake later, and like, oh shit, I voted for Brexit. I shouldn't have done that. And that's basically what you have. So every time I make fun of Brexit, there's like one dude who pops into the comments later who's like, Brexit was a good thing. We're really proud of it. I'm like, no. Like you can look at the stats now, and it's like the Britons are like, oh my god, I can't believe we did that. Let's just look at this. UK regrets Brexit. All right, 57% of Britons tell YouGov the decision to leave EU in 2016 was the wrong one. Boom. Yeah, they got the third of the country, and then they got this like middle third tricked for just a moment. And that middle third now regrets everything. And the original stupid third is still like, oh, it's the right thing to do. And good luck, burning your libraries to stay warm in winter and eating your grandparents, because that's where the UK is headed, not being a member of Europe and no longer having an empire. If you guys still had an empire, you wouldn't need the European Union. But your empire is gone. So where are you going to get your bananas from and oranges and beef? I mean, we can send our grade D beef from the United States to you. We'll give you an IMF loan and send you some like 30-year-old beef from a freezer somewhere. And I'm sure you guys can like fight with the dogs over it, and that will be great. UK viewers are like, I hate you so much right now. Just friendly ribbing, right? Because you guys are going to be nothing but ribs. All right. Okay. Since before, Kevin McCarthy is set to end his term in Congress at the end of the year. Good riddance. Kevin, you spineless loser. Margin down to 2. Yeah, Kevin McCarthy got kicked out of the chairmanship, the Speaker of the House. He's quitting. He's like, see you losers. I'm leaving Congress. But I love that he's leaving Congress, and he's like, his little speech was like, I'm not going to give up the fight. I'm still going to fight for you. But he just literally gave up the fight. So have fun on your K Street lobbying job. And I don't know, maybe Liberty University might make you the president for a while or something. But yeah, Kevin McCarthy was never heard from again. Zebra Cove, I believe Lazar. It's not pronounced laser. Bob Laser. Kelly Reid, Canada holds rates. Article suggesting this recession hitting Canada will soon be severe. Canada gets hit hard during these times. The great thing is that all of your amazing natural resources get bought up by China whenever you guys get hit hard. So expect like some copper mines and stuff to all of a sudden be Chinese copper mines. So good luck with that. And how you doing there, monks? You got it? You ate it all. Good job. All right. Yeah, you continue licking your paw. That's fine. You can lick your paw all day long. J. King Houston, the insiders GME and the insiders AMC and the shares they hold. What a comparison. Let's actually look at insider ownership of AMC. Insider ownership. Insider trading activity. Let's see what you got here. What do you got for me? I want market beat. That's going to be too confusing. Let's do the NASDAQ one. Okay. No transactions. Number of market buys, no sells in 12 months. So no one... Oh, you guys can't see what it's doing because the calculator's up. They're not selling anything, but they're also not buying anything. So nobody has bothered in the last 12 months to purchase anything. So it looks like they've accepted shares from the company. Let's see what Paulus Kathleen, how many shares does she have? She has data not currently not available. Cool, that's helpful. Let's try Seich. Data currently not available. Cool. All right. Let's try Sussman. Data currently not available. Neat. Way to go, NASDAQ. You guys have a great website going on here. So my guess is everyone to pick here. Good old Chris Cox. Big Cox. What do you got for me? Data currently not available. Neat. So we have them receiving shares like nobody's business as part of their bonuses as directors and officers. And all of them on August got a whole bunch of shares, which, then they did 10-for-1 reverse split. Now they're not worth shit. And that's it. Only one page of, or is the NASDAQ dying here? Why? NASDAQ, what is wrong with your website? Okay. There we go. And Adam Aaron, he got 195,000 shares. Oh, there we go. He's got 336,000 shares. So that is... When went the reverse split? What date was the reverse split go through? AMC reverse split. August 24th. Okay, so they got 366,000 of the new shares the next day that weren't worth anything. All right, so that's what you had. So there are people in this chat who have more shares of AMC than Adam Aaron. I know personally. I've messaged some of you, and you guys have messaged me telling me how many shares you have. I'm like, holy shit, you have. So basically, Adam Aaron has more shares than everybody at that entire company. I mean, this person is an officer in the company. They have 299 shares. So Ellen Kopakin has about $1,600 in shares. Woo! All right, way to go. Way to do it there, Ellen. You go, girl. Crystal, I'm a lesbian, but you're hot well at Smart Talk. Well, I'm just here to convert all the lesbians. I think it's the haircut, really, is what's doing it for you. Because All my lesbian friends and I had the exact same haircut. So. All right. Citizen 54, Danish pension funds hold 43 billion. Start selling Tesla stocks to labor union dispute with Tesla spreads from Sweden to Norway and now Denmark, and the large pension funds have begun sell-off of shares. Interesting. I know that union companies that do deliveries to Tesla dealerships and maintenance facilities and stuff have stopped across Scandinavia, and that they can't get, batteries and components delivered at all because there's not delivering because of the anti-union stance of the Tesla board. They have the most dangerous factories in the world, period. It's more dangerous to work in a Tesla factory than it is to be a crab fisherman. There is no safety standard. And I read an interesting article that a large reason why there's no safety, the safety standards are so low at Tesla factories is because Elon hates the color yellow. And that things that should sound hey, this is dangerous, are normally painted yellow inside factories, and refuses to let them be painted yellow. And that forms a sense of complacency in people. And then they get their arms chopped off by machines. See if I can find that thing. Okay. So here's from Business Insider. 3 former SpaceX supervisors told Reuters that Musk would have machinery painted industrial safety yellow repainted black or blue because he didn't like how it looked. The ex-supervisor also said that some workers were told not to wear yellow safety vests when Musk was on site. Buddy, these things aren't these colors to be aesthetically pleasing. They are those colors to warn you that this machine can kill you at any moment. Or that, if you're operating a giant machine, to look out for the person wearing yellow because that's the safety color it's supposed to wear to avoid getting smushed by a machine. New York Magazine even had an article in 2018. Tesla workers getting hurt because Elon hates yellow. So all these apparatuses in here should be bright yellow, and they are not. Tesla factories are not safe for employees, Tesla would have you believe. According to a report from Reveal News, Reveal is an amazing organization, by the way, a nonprofit news operation based out of the Bay Area, the company reportedly misreported injuries at its factory in Fremont, California, to make things seem better than they actually are. The company officials labeled toxic exposures, muscle strains, and repetitive stress injuries as personal medical issues or minor accidents requiring only first aid, lowering its official injury count. Among the more baffling details in the report are several sections about how Elon Musk's personal tastes appear to have affected the factory's safety for the worse. His preferences were well known and led to cutting back on those standard safety signals. Musk apparently really hates the color yellow. So instead of using the aforementioned hue, lane lines on the factory floor are painted shades of gray. So they have a gray floor and they're painting the safety lines in shades of gray. Oh my God. Okay. Tesla denies this and sent Reveal photos of rails and posts painted yellow in the factory. He also is not into having too many signs or beeping sound forklifts make in reverse, all things that would seem important to keeping staff safe. It's just a matter of time before somebody gets killed, former safety lead said of the conditions of the factory. One employee attempted to call attention to these problems before eventually resigning. Okay. A few months into her job, White became so alarmed that she wrote a human resources manager that the risk of injury is too high, people are getting hurt every day, and near-hit accidents where people are getting almost crushed or hit by cars is unacceptable. Her March 2017 resignation letter, White recounted the time she told her boss, Seth Woody, that the plant layout was extremely dangerous to pedestrians. Woody, head of the safety team, told her that Elon didn't want signs, anything yellow like caution tape, or to wear safety shoes in the plant, and acknowledged it was a mess, she wrote. There you go. So the union would require them to have safety signs and yellow vests and hard hats and metatarsal shoes and gloves and shit that he probably was like, that is aesthetically unpleasing. But for a guy who's all about making things aesthetically pleasing, the Cybertruck is butt fucking ugly. It is so ugly. Oh my gosh. I keep seeing pictures of it on the road now. They're making deliveries, and every single time I see it, I'm just like, it's hideous. Is a low-res render of a B-grade video game from 30 years ago. and it's just so unbelievably ugly. It is the Pontiac Aztec of the 2010s, and will remain that way. 30 years in the future, we'll be like, that thing's like a Pontiac Aztec. That's where we are. All right, moving on. That's your Elon rant for the day. Crayola for breakfast. I think MMAT has been infiltrated and they're spiraling towards bankruptcy. No comment. Thanks, Heavy Shorts. Instead of doing the smart thing, parent company gives retail the and makes us never want to deal with them again. Yeah. Crayola for breakfast. Chalupa Batman's getting buffed from Miami too. Oh, wouldn't you love to go Miami? You would hate it. You would burn up in the sunshine, you black cat. You would just vaporize. Of course, maybe it's a quick way to make weight, huh? Huh, buddy? Oh, you're so scratchy. The thing about having a beefy cat is you can just scratch them so hard and they love it. Right? Oh, just a big scratch. The little kitten, you can't scratch the little kitten that hard. She just snaps in half. But the beef cat, oh, you can give that guy just just strong rubbings, and then he's just like, oh, hell yeah. Okay. DVS, Australia held rates last week too. And Australia is looking at a bunch of resets of mortgages as well. DVS, how are mortgage resettings happening down there? You guys feeling foreclosure pinches happening? As people, on their adjustable rate mortgages all of a sudden are paying a fortune. Chris, I have a feeling my Bed Bath shares are fucked and I've wasted 17 months of my life. Buddy, we're waiting on the credit bid. If the credit bid's successful, they get the nulls, we get our shares back. It's that simple. It's so simple. So, I am zen. And you know what? If I do lose, nothing changes. I'm still eating ramen noodles. I still drive a shit box. My life is no different than it was before. Tony Tran win Lambo? Sooner than it was before. Board Gamer, with moon travel getting closer and closer to realization, what do you think will happen to those people who bought a piece of the moon from sites that sold those properties? They will discover that they don't actually own a piece of the moon, and those companies were faking it. So, that's kind of how it rolls. International treaty states that no person can own property on the moon. You can't own property. No one can sell you property. There's companies like, you know what? I'm just going to sell property on the moon. I'm going to divvy it up, make some land plats, have some fun making maps, and then I'm going to sell this to people who don't know any better. And I will sell multiple pieces of property, or a piece of property to multiple people, and they will never know the difference. It's like the people who buy stars, right? Oh, I sold you a star. You now have, I don't know, Pegasus Beta 2. And that's the star you own. You own Pegasus Beta 2. It's 15,000 light years away. It's that little twinkle up there. That one's yours. And here's a little sheet saying that you own it. It's all yours. Just for $114.95, you bought an entire star system. Good for you. The thing is that there's 200 other people on planet Earth who all own the exact same star system, and you're never the wiser, right? How are you supposed to know, right? Can't go down to the county assessor's office and get a quitclaim deed or something on it. It's a great scam. It's beautiful, and I should do it. Board Gamer. Oh, that's why I just read that one. BBBY brand, Board Gamer. This has been answered before, but no one owns a piece of the moon. Yep. It's a great grift, though. It's a really simple grift. It's a great, simple grift. It's a kind of a passive income grift, too, because you can set it up in like one of those Printful stores or something, and it just prints out a picture of some random constellation and point the arrow to your star, gives you naming rights to it, whatever, sends it off to you. And you don't have to like be hands-on, just like, Bethany, this is your star. You are a Scorpio, so we got you a star in the Scorpio constellation. This one here is Alpha Omega 9D, and you can name it whatever you want. It's beautiful. It's such a beautiful scam. Hansenbell finally caught you live again. Good morning from Germany. Coordinates. Oh boy. Let's go to Europe. Looks like we're going to Eastern Europe. Or maybe Russia? Let's see here. Google Earth. Oh, still stuck over here in Guyana. I was doing some studying of Guyana. So I don't know my South America that much, but apparently this entire region of Guyana that turns red when I zoom in, this apparently is claimed by Venezuela, this whole region here. And Venezuela has been amassing military on this border to invade what they claim is their country. But the British came in and they claimed all of this even. So like, the British claimed all this stuff here. So, yeah, Maduro is an idiot. Like, over here, right, over here by this big giant lake, they have 250 billion barrels of oil that they need to exploit. And that they've got agreement with the U.S. government. This government will buy that oil and they'll make pretty pennies. And Exxon will help like develop the fields, blah, blah, blah. Over here, there's 11 billion barrels of oil and it's successfully exporting right now. And Venezuela's like, I want that. So Maduro appears he's going to pull Saddam Hussein and invade his neighbor, claiming ownership rights of that oil. But the big problem is that Guyana is the only English-speaking nation in South America. So you know the Brits, the Americans, the Canadians are going to fuck some shit up if you invade the only British-speaking country only English-speaking country in all of South America, and try to take their oil. They will like, you think they went hard for Kuwait? Just imagine how hard they'll go for a British-speaking or English-speaking nation in South America. So, it would be doom. It would be tanks in the street, leveling buildings type doom. So Maduro, I know you watch this show. You watch it religiously. I get your fan mail. If you want to survive past May, do not try to invade your English-speaking neighbor and steal their oil, because the United States government is trigger happy to carpet bomb somebody, and they will sadly murder a whole bunch of future baseball players, which would be, personal level, I don't hurt the baseball players, please. Baseball players and the booty models, they need to be protected, and a whole bunch of them come from Venezuela. So please protect the baseball players and the booty models, and Shakira and her extended family. Don't invade your neighbor. Try to steal a paltry amount of oil when you have got plenty of your own. Just pay to develop your oil fields. That's all you have to do. Plus, this is like the densest jungle in the world. Like, you can see there's not much going on here. Like, yeah, you have a town. Okay, let's look at this little town right here. Do you see a town? Do you see a town in here? No. But there's a town there, apparently. Good luck getting across anything with your armies. No one's done it in 400 years. So, good luck. Oh, yeah. Anyway, sorry. I got Hans and Bell. I got distracted by the map here. Hans and Bell, he gave me coordinates. Boom. Let's go flying. We're going to, I believe, Eastern Europe. Oh, Scandinavia. Okay. Oh, way north. We're way north. We are here on this cliff, overlooking this shoreline. Cob Hole Neset parking. Cob Hole Neset. North Portal, North Cape Tunnel. So it looks like a tunnel goes under the building, under the building, the big old block of rock here. Where does it come out? So you go in there. Where do you come out? If I turn on roads, will I see? Oh, that's where you come out. Oh, goodness gracious. So you come from here, old house, E69. You go through this building, under the bay, through here, and you pop out down here, I presume? Yeah, right there. Oh, shit, that's a cool tunnel. They're trying to show me this badass tunnel, because that is a cool tunnel. Let's just see if we can get a little dude down here. Shabam. Ooh, baby. This doesn't have to be the tunnel where the cheese all burned, is it? I can't remember where that was. So this guy goes on for quite a ways, doesn't it? Looks like we're going with this dude for quite some time. Are we following anyone? We are following that guy, right? Huh. This will take us forever. But anyway, exit street view. I'm going to go back to where he plunked down because that's a long-ass tunnel. That is cool. All right. Through the Granite Pouton, across the bay, popping out over here. And is there a view from here that perhaps you wanted us to go to? Well, got a glorious view of the tundra up north. Hansenbell, anything in particular that you want us to see here? Or am I just going to be in awe of this tunnel? How big ass it is. A whole bunch of pothole lakes. Old House Northlight. Sarns pop up. Fishing Land Sarns Robur. Svartenstind. What was that one? Oh, it's just viewpoint. Trollholmen. That's where the trolls are from. Nordkep. Well, okay. I'm just going to assume that you want to see this big-ass tunnel. North Portal. North Cape Tunnel. Mager Junsen. I don't say anything in the region. All right. Gfont, HW, did you see the greeting Putin got from the UAE? It feels like they are distancing from the West. Feels like things are changing globally. I did not see the greeting he got in the UAE. But he is in a non-extradition country, so the Hague can't arrest him there. Or if he is, and there's no obligation for the UAE to arrest Putin there. So, I mean, I found it interesting the folks that want to distance from the West and embrace Putin, because everyone for 80 years who has embraced Russia, Soviet Union, etc., has found themselves in the middle of financial ruin, right? Like, they get exploited in a way that's, I think, oftentimes worse than the way Western colonizers have exploited people. They treat Russia as if it's not a colonizer, and it is a colonizer. It's just a really, really piss poor one. Like, it's one thing to get colonized by rich people who build infrastructure and do things, and then exploit you. It's another thing to get colonized by somebody who doesn't even have the capacity to build infrastructure in their own country, and then they try to exploit you, but then they don't have the money to pay for anything, so everything just rots. That's kind of the Russian MO when it comes to their form of colonization. Is shit sucks, and it just continues to suck even more, and not even like the warlords get rich off of it. The warlords are even poor. Like, nobody gets rich. They don't have a very large economy. Their economy is a fraction of the size of like Missouri or something. Like, their economy is puny. California has like 4 times the economy as Russia. They aren't a good consumer. Like, high-end goods, yeah, they'll buy our Rolls Royces and stuff. I think the Rolls Royce dealership for a period of time in Moscow was like the highest grossing Rolls Royce dealership. But they're not going to buy your middle run products in large quantities. You can see from the fact of how many like washing machines got stolen by soldiers in Ukraine, that they don't have consumer goods. They have no ability to pay for consumer goods. Consumer goods just don't import there because no one has any money. So I don't understand necessarily what it is that nations like the UAE gets out of a relationship with Russia, because it's certainly not financial, and their weapons suck. So what are you gonna, like, oh, you're gonna do a weapons deal with Russia? You just got shredded by like 1970s leftovers in Ukraine, being powered by baristas and like web developers. So what is it that they have that you want? They're a competitor for you when it comes to oil. So them producing as much oil as they do keeps your prices from being as high as they should, right? I don't see the benefit at all of financially, politically, emotionally. Like, what does Putin offer? What can he offer? He's got nothing. He's got zip, doodle. There are a lot of Russian oligarchs who vacation in Dubai. A lot of their mistresses do their Instagram photo shoots there and stuff, and they spend a lot of time there avoiding conscription. But yeah, if anyone knows what it is that Russia actually offers anybody that's useful, I'm all ears, because I cannot think of one thing that's truly beneficial that Russia has that a nation like the UAE or Qatar or anyone would want. Iran's one thing. Iran's hey, we aren't allowed to trade with anybody, but Russia don't give a shit. We'll trade chicken scraps back and forth. But the UAE can participate in all the global markets and get all the cool stuff. Let's say the UAE, right, bonds with Russia. And they do oh, Russia's awesome, fuck the West. Cool. You now have no access to your Ferraris and Lamborghinis and Rolls Royces and Learjets and G5s and good engineers, right? All the things that make your nation awesome aren't awesome because of things you're doing or awesome because of things Russia's doing. They're awesome because you took your oil and gas wealth and paid people in France and Germany and the US and Canada to come and build you awesome things, right? Design you awesome things. And then you took a bunch of slave labor from Bangladesh, India, and Pakistan, and you put them into slave camps, and you had them actually produce the things for you. And then you went around look at this thing I built. Aren't we awesome? We're so awesome. That's kind of how it works. So I guess from one oligarch to another, that must be what they have in common. They both like some really gaudy things, and they just broed out and bonded over that. BTW brand, China's in a rough place. They regret not having their own EPA. Iggy sent me an interesting video today showing that in the last couple of years, 37 bridges built in the last 8 years have collapsed in China because of tofu deng projects. Using not reinforcing concrete, using inferior concrete, inferior rebar, not putting rebar at all into them, not building to safe engineering standards. One of their cable stay bridges has got this crazy twisted cable stay. It's beautiful. It was came out September of last year, September 2022. It was oh, look at this beautiful thing, and all these influencers go get a picture taken to it. The cable stay caught fire. It's got LED lights that make it turn purple and green and stuff. Somehow there's a short in the steel tower with the steel cable. The steel cable caught fire in this 10-ton cable, right? Caught fire, melted, and detached and crashed and cracked the road surface and was still on fire. How do you light steel on fire? What kind of short do you have to do that people can't put out the 10-ton steel cable because it's burning? There's video footage of some poor guy with the fire extinguisher's truck trying to put out the 10-ton steel cable that's ablaze. I don't know how. You're able to light things on fire that have no capacity to burn. I'm impressed. Tofu dang, baby. I just missed where something said acquiring $45. I missed it. Where was it? Lil Law. AbbVie is acquiring a company for $45 a share. AbbVie. Acquiring $45. AbbVie nears roughly $8 billion deal for drug developer Cerevel Sources. Come here. Google Earth, go away. Okay, neuroscience drug maker for $8.7 billion. Pay $45 a share for Cerevel. Expected to complete the acquisition in the middle of 2024. The deal is AbbVie's latest attempt to expand its drug pipeline as its top-selling treatments, such as Humira, face generic competition. Okay, so rather than doing research and development, they're going to buy up the competition. Got it. All right. Shares of Sorrel jumped 16% after the close Wednesday, and they're $43 a share, just below the purchase price. So that's, if you had calls on that, good job. He's made $1,600 a call. Nice. Okay. Or jumped 16%, not $16. Sorry, I totally misread that. Be like $10. Good job. All right. Nice. Cool. There you go. Drug companies, they love buying up the competition rather than spending R&D and developing more stuff. It's like what they love to do. If you guys ever watched, and I talked about this years ago, the Netflix series Dirty Money. It's a docu-series. Each season does like 6 2-hour-long documentaries about some scummy people. And there's one about a drug manufacturer who basically just stopped manufacturing drugs and just bought other companies to use their IP and just kept buying other companies, using other money to buy other companies. And this one chick shorted the hell out of them and won, drove the stock price to 0 because she said these guys were destroying their company by not doing their own R&D. And that's exactly what happened. They destroyed their company by not doing an R&D. G-Font, HW. Did you see I just read that one. Where am I? I lost my, because I had wrong highlighted thing. Frozen State Productions, I challenge Houston to a tennis match, night court, outdoors. You're going to win. Because I've never played tennis seriously a day in my life. So, Frozen State, I give you will win. I'll be angry about it, but you will win. We Wild, good morning, HW. A few words in GMG and no labs, please. Also, did you see the Congress hearing for the presidents of Harvard, Penn, MIT? Lastly, 12th and final season of Letterkenny coming at Christmas. The 12th season at Christmas is going to be the last one of Letterkenny? Well, it's over. Everyone should just commit mass suicide. That's it. No sense in existing anymore if it's the last one. Boo. Anyway, yes, I'm looking forward to looking at that last season. I did not see congressional hearing about Harvard, Penn, MIT. Did not see that. But GMG and No Labs. GMG. Factories built. They're starting to build cell-size pouches for larger in-series and battery systems that you put into cars and other apparatus. They also have a paint. It's a insulating paint that can go on to industrial equipment and buildings that they've got a bunch of contracts for. And I think was something that they developed by accident. That they're doing some other process like, whoa, look at this paint. It reflects light incredibly well. And so they've got a whole bunch of contracts for that. So they're also manufacturing that. No Labs, like 2 weeks ago, announced the addition of some very spectacular scientists and engineers and experts in startups onto their board. Stock price actually jumped as a result of that. People were like, ooh, these are some big heavy hitters. And we're still awaiting news on their human trials that they're doing with their consumer device, their handheld one. You just go boop, and it reads your blood sugar levels. And weird. So Thanksgiving, this is my brother, work for the company I can't talk about, and they have a non-invasive glucose monitor they're working on. My cousin's partner is a PhD in optics, and he had a company that was working on non-invasive glucose monitor, got bought by another company. And then I've got my friend Ron, who is the president and chairman and founder of No Labs. And so I know 3 of the top experts in the world on non-invasive glucose monitoring, and they're all like, I don't know how you can hang out with them anytime. It's very weird. It's a very weird, it's very weird, right? Right, fat cat, little dog. It's very weird. Like, who else? Do you guys know like the 3 top non-invasive glucose monitoring engineers on the planet? Because apparently I do. It's weird. But yeah, we're waiting on that. We're waiting on their announcements, and I was expecting them to make an announcement before New Year's. But that's just totally my gut. They did say that they expect to make their successful announcement, and that they plan on filing for FDA approval by September of next year. So that isn't, they've got a time schedule all set for that. So that is in motion. And man, ooh, they filed for that. Just keep the stock price low until I get a big win on BBBY, and then I can buy like 8 million shares or something. And then just sit back and collect the billions when it's all ready to go. That's what I'm waiting for. Please don't break Houston while he's in loan to Florida. You guys see the Vice City trailer for GTA 6? Like, the people in Florida are like, this is Florida. That they just nailed Florida. It's a whole bunch of people doing street takeovers and twerking and Florida. So we gotta wait 2 more years for that video game, though. I need to like, in 2 years I'll buy my new computer system so that it can handle playing GTA 6. All right. Kaz, I was able to DRS my MMTLP shares on Webull. It took 16 to 17 weeks versus 6 to 9 weeks they relayed to me. It took me 4 exactly. Fidelity said take 4. It took exactly 4 for me. I was persistent in contacting them through the help desk. AST letter received, shares gone from Webull. That's cheaper than what they're telling people. They're telling people it's going to be like $300 to DRS. So 75 is good. It says Webull charges $75 DMS. It said it wouldn't take just as long, and the money would be like $200 plus incentive if it gets to my residence. Okay, so at least it's only $75. Fidelity told me it cost $100, so I had to put $100 in the account for them to use, and then they didn't ever charge me for it, so it was free. I'll take it. But that's what we got. Jason Blackwell teaser Friday's meme. Houston goes to Miami. Brace yourself. Ooh, better be some booty models in there, Jason. Ben Deco, TD Canada hasn't transferred my 1,200 shares yet. Been waiting since the end of September. That's too long. That is too long, TD Canada. Zio My God with Noob will Neely first man to go to jail from federal bankruptcy court? I don't know. Has anyone ever been held in contempt in bankruptcy court? Bankruptcy court. Civil and criminal contempt, negative factors, blah, blah, blah. Civil contempt and bankruptcy. Explore the limits. While it appears exceedingly rare for bankruptcy court to imprison indefinitely a contemptor for civil contempt is not necessarily beyond. Okay, let's see what this one's all about. North Carolina Bar Blog. Give it to me, North Carolina Bar Blog. North Carolina Bar Blog. Come on. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Let's do it. There we go. Come on. Come on, Internet. You got this. You can do it. There we go. My name is familiar with the famous, albeit purportedly apocryphal quote by former President Andrew Jackson, who, upon hearing the court's decision in Worcester versus Georgia, supposed to have famously declared that of Chief Justice John Marshall has made his decision. Now let him enforce it. Blah, 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 blah. Regardless of whether blah, 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 blah. Contempt power in the United States is traceable to the English courts, whereas extant as far back as the 10th century. I'll go far history of the contempt power. Give me to bankruptcy. How about if I do Control F and just search bankruptcy? Okay. Boom. 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 Okay. Contempt power bankruptcy courts. Fact or fiction. Debate continues. Blah, blah, blah. Authority to impose sanctions has been described as inherent in federal courts. Yet bankruptcy courts have not always been considered courts in the United States for all purposes because they're Article 1 and Article 3 courts, apparently. Virtue of their status, Article 1 courts that, unlike Article 3 courts, are entirely creatures of statute. Congress did not give bankruptcy courts a full criminal contempt jurisdiction of courts in the United States. The powers of bankruptcy court to enforce obedience on its own orders is perhaps best enshrined in the statutory provisions of Section 362K, which empowers a bankruptcy court to impose sanctions against any person or entity for willful violations of the automatic stay of Sections 362A, entitling the aggrieved party, most often the debtor, to recover 1. Actual damages, 2. Costs, including attorney's fees, and 3. Punitive damages, but only in appropriate circumstances. However, sanctions under 362K, the means by which courts enforce the automatic stay, are not identical to a finding of civil contempt. Indeed, a finding of civil contempt by a bankruptcy court is wholly unnecessary to carrying out the statutory mandate of 362K. On the other hand, the discharge injunction of Section 524A lacks a similar statutory enforcement mechanism. It is in these similar cases that the bankruptcy court must rely on the broader and more nebulous doctrine of civil contempt, though the equitable powers of Section 105A give the effect of debtor's discharge. Okay, let's I'm gonna skip ahead here. Okay. For examining scope of bankruptcy contempt powers, it's first necessary to lay out the briefly contours of the contempt power. All right. Distinction between civil and criminal contempt in the bankruptcy context is of cardinal importance. Bankruptcy courts lack the authority to preside over criminal contempt proceedings. We hold that bankruptcy courts do not have inherent criminal contempt powers, at least with respect to the criminal contempts not commanded in or near their presence. The federal statutes conferring criminal contempt authority, 40142, grant this authority to the courts of the United States, demonstrating another instance where bankruptcy courts are courts of the United States, for some purposes, but not others. Accordingly, if bankruptcy court wishes to initiate a criminal contempt proceeding against a punitive contemnor, I can't say that word, contemnor, it must refer to the matter to the district court. So basically, Neely fucks up. The bankruptcy judge has to go, hey, federal judge in district court down the hall, can you fuck this guy up for me? And that seems to be what happens. So Neely, if the judge in this bankruptcy case makes a phone call to his buddy down the hall, who is a lifetime appointment federal judge in district court, your day's ruined, bud. That's what this says. Okay. Civil proceedings, blah, blah, blah. In fashioning remedies that will withstand appellate scrutiny, aggrieved parties and bankruptcy courts should consider whether sanctions imposed can be fairly considered remedial and coercive rather than punitive. So in doing so, one should be mindful that the measure of the court's power in civil contempt proceedings is determined by the requirement of full remedial relief. Okay. It seems to be a lot of this has to do with the person who themselves has filed for bankruptcy and not just some rando who's being a pain in the ass. So this guy could end up, Neely Doss could end up in the future articles based on this. Like, then there was the case of Neely Doss being a complete dumbass in bankruptcy court. And he pissed the judge off so much that he sentenced him to death. So, So I've got a couple remedies here, blah, blah, blah. Okay. All about the debtor. It's all about the debtor. Probably the debtor, like, not revealing things, trying to hide stuff. So never been, so these examples are all about the debtor and not just some, like, clown who is just messing things up for the judge. So I'm sure precedent will be set if Neely keeps pissing off the judge. David Wright, 1 in 3 seems kind of low. Well, I mean, like, you got another 1 in 3 that probably just don't care, right? Like, how many people do you talk to in your day and just have no idea what's going on? Like, remember when Jay Leno would do those man on the street interviews and be like, who was our first president? People were like, I don't know, Ben Franklin. And there's a lot of those folks running around. They just have, man, I got the hiccups. They just have no idea what's going on. And those folks, third of the population doesn't vote. Yeah, you have people that will share like the dumbest conspiracy videos back and forth. Like one of my elders who posted this video the other day, and it was a time lapse of what was it, Monkey? It was a time lapse of the construction of Dubai. And it was so obviously a an AI rendered thing because, like, you know, the sand dunes turned into rocks, and then they built the buildings, and the buildings came down. They built in taller buildings, and the taller buildings, and then like the Burj Khalifa got built, and then it crumbled and appeared somewhere else. And she was like, "Yeah, isn't this amazing? This is the time lapse of how Dubai got built." I'm like, "No, it's not. It's just AI. It's not at all accurate. It's fake, and the uncanny valley has you deeply in scripts." They're those people. They just don't have the critical thinking skills or the ability to discern what is correct. Like, folks who watch a video as a clip of Grand Theft Auto, right? It's a video of a car driving down the highway, smashing other cars, and police chasing after it. And like, can you believe this guy? And you'll have a whole bunch of boomers like, that's illegal. They should catch him. He's a danger to society. And then people under the age of 40 are like, that's a video game. It's not real. It's terrible graphics. I can't believe you're believing this is a real video clip. It's so bad. The road isn't even rendered properly. And that's, maybe they just need to go to the eye doctor. Maybe they just, everything's so blurry that they just, that's how the uncanny valley is just like, got them. But anyway, I digress. BFH. Institutional shares equal shares owned by institutions. Insiders are insider ownership, not institutional. This is true. You are correct. Mark Kirkpatrick. I have my MMTLP and IRA with Fidelity. I don't think I can move these shares out to get registered. Have you heard any other options for someone in a similar position? I think they addressed that in the second amended S1. So I wouldn't doubt if it's still in the language in there. Basically, I think you alert your broker that you're in an IRA and you can't move them, but you still should be entitled to these things, and that there's some mechanism they're supposed to do. So call and bitch and moan to your compliance officer at your brokerage and at Fidelity and say, hey, I'm owed this stuff, but I'm stuck in this IRA and I can't DRS, so figure it out. Write a letter. BOH, I want this Neely Das clown in prison, so he is forced to stop. Why bother trying to help him? Sadly, yes. Frozen Day Productions. I'll give you a GME share to eat a stinky strip of beef. Just say I'm going to give you $14.89 to eat a stinky strip of beef. Not worth it to me, man. That stuff, it smells great to a dog because dogs will lick asshole. But not for me. No, thank you. Chaz, Mark Patrick, talk to your broker. There are just a few BBY on my IRA that create a taxable event. Since MMTLP is technically worthless, you might be able to without any repercussions. There you go. Oh, BW Brand Houston's brother has been voicing his opinion about MMET on Twitter. If you're interested, he was mentioned on another program the other day. I saw him tonight, and he was like, "I'm not going on your show," so he won't come on the show. If you guys keep asking, he's like, no. DVS, lots of people in a bit of trouble with their mortgages. Thankfully, I saw the rate rises coming and fixed my loan the day before the rate started to go up. Good job, DVS. Very wise and smart of you. So hopefully others were lucky, but I know that there's an obscene amount of mortgages that are adjustable rate in Australia, just like in Canada. Woof. Tony Tran, what's his Twitter handle? I believe it's Gardner Wade 3 is his Twitter handle. Pacheco Rone, Tesla truck looks like the Automan TV show car. Automan TV show car. Images. It's a Countach. Isn't that a Countach? Automan? Looks like a Countach. Like Countach without some of the frills on it. Automan. The complete series. For the producers of Tron. Okay. So I never saw this show ever in my entire life. When was this out? Automan. IMDb. I got IMDb this sucker. IMDb.com. How did I miss this? Come on. Give me stupid. Oh, there we go. Automan. 1983? How did I miss this? Computer-generated superhero and his human creator fight crime in the city. There's only 13 episodes, only one season. Death by design. My friend Jackson, another cop, is killed while working with him. Okay. Whoa. That would ruin your night vision. I'm going to tell you right now, that much blue light, you're not seeing shit out there. So, a word of the wise, boys and girls, don't become a blowing glue person at night because you will have no night vision. You want red. You want glowing red is what you want. That's why you got glowing red in like dark rooms and submarines and crap, not glowing blue. Chuck Wagner was Automan. You know, it's Desi Arnaz. Oh, Jr. Okay, Desi Arnaz Jr., so he was in it. Anyone else? Ed Latner? Louder? Yeah, I know him. John Vernon, I know him. These are guest stars. Okay. Automan. All right, now I'm going to have to go rip this thing off the internet and see what the hell Automan's about, because I never saw it. Herm. Dick P, Vulcan Centaur, Gene Roddenberry, and cast member Nichelle Nichols, who portrayed the character Uhura, will have their ashes deposited on the moon December 24th. Well, that's cool. All right. And by the way, I think the lady that plays Uhura in the Strange New Worlds, she's fly. Okay. Scott Pollan just had a big talk with classmates about Guyana. Okay. This shit's about to pop off. Yeah, British going to war. Like, you know, the last time the Britons truly went to war was when they kicked the shit out of another South American country. So my guess is that they'll have their Margaret Thatcher moment, send a couple carrier groups down to just mess shit up in Venezuela. Because, quite frankly, they need a win. They Brexited and they regret it, and they need somebody to take it out on, and they will take it out on Maduro. And the U.S. will be like, you know what? We could do some stuff too. And that's what's going to happen. They'll get the regime changed that way. Fact Blanos. He said Shakira and her extended family. I have family in Guyana, so I hope these clowns don't infiltrate. Yeah, man, it's going to be a disaster anyway. It's the thickest jungle on the planet, and it's like one of the wettest. Like the rainy season is May to August and November to April or something. Like there's the next window they will have to do an invasion will be for like 1 month in April. They'll be able to do an invasion because the rest of the time it's just piss and rain, and it's just. That was a good burp, Monkey. That was a very good burp. Was that a stinky beef strip burp? Yeah. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Guyana. Like you just don't. It is an absolute disaster. You will get mired. It's like Russia thinking they're going to invade Ukraine through the bogs coming out of Belarus. It's the largest swamp in the world. You're not going anywhere. You know, the Ukrainians blew up the bridges, so now the roads that were developed 30 years ago, they're unusable. So you're not going to be able to take your tanks through that bog. It's just not going to happen. So quit dreaming. No one's going through that bog to get into Ukraine from Belarus. You're not going to pass through any meaningful portion of Guyana with your military without them all like dying of malaria or something. Dengue fever. I don't know. It's going to be a disaster. So just don't do it. Just go develop your oil fields. Get your money that way. Frozen State Productions. I'm behind, so the hedge funds are selling stars and the moon. That's rehypothecation. Oh, wouldn't that be funny? As if they like have a whole bunch of their collateral holdings and named stars and moon property. 101 Nas 101 Houston. What do you think will happen on the Pulte meetup on December 14th? Another hype date that will pass with a nothing burger or something else. At this point, what I think is Houston's going to annihilate the buffet. Have to smile and nod at a whole bunch of Elon Musk conversations and go, oh yeah. And a lot of bros will be taking pictures. I think it's gonna be a bro fest. I really do. I think it's gonna be it might be the most broy bro fest I will ever bro fest in my entire life. And I'm kind of, from an anthropological point of view, I'm gonna be fascinated with with attending. I'm gonna have fun. It's gonna be fun. There's gonna be a lot of shrimp cocktail, and I'm looking forward to that. I got my outfit planned out. I know exactly what I'm going to wear, and I think it's gonna be fancy. Tony Tran, I'm interested to see what will happen with the multi-trillion-dollar swaps due on the 15th. That, too, is perplexing because no one knows what's in them. Nobody wants a part of them. Wants anything to do with them. And nobody knows how they were created. There's, like, no information as to what is in these things. So you got multiple swaps all set to die or expire on the 15th. Nobody wants to lay claim to them. And my guess is it's going to result in, like, UBS just... That's it. UBS will be toast after the 15th. I'm very curious to see what Friday's like as far as people being able to move money around from bank to bank. Because, we have every other Friday, a whole bunch of banks, all of a sudden, people aren't getting their paychecks deposited. They're able to withdraw money from cash machines because they're scared. These banks know one of them is going. Like, you might die, I might die, because I'll need this cash, so I can't give it to you. And they don't want to like make good on their end of the week swaps of clearing, I should say. And I don't think anybody wants to send money to UBS because I think they all look at the UBS and are like, dead man walking. So next week should be interesting for the banks, I think. Very interesting. Scott Pollen, -1 cent per share is saying to the world, we have money and we were hiding it in the balance sheet. Bingo, Scott. That's exactly what I think GME is doing. They're playing key. They're like, oh, yeah, well, we beat estimates, but we're still not profitable. And then Q4, they're going to just smash your face in it and show that they made, 20 or 30 cents per share for the year. I think it's going to be a phenomenal Q4 for them. Don't commit mass on a live as a figure of speech. No more Letterkenny to look forward to. What's the point, right? Maybe they'll do a third season of Shoresy, so we'll have that to look forward to. JT in Houston, is there a possible scenario where the chemical mixture of the steel would allow them to ignite and catch fire? It's possible. I mean, if there's a bunch of aluminum, yeah, then you're creating thermite. Yeah, BBBY steel clad aluminum. There you go, oxidized, create very poor grade thermite. So that could be doing it. But why would you do that? You're engineers. You should know not to mix those metals because you start mixing metals like that, and you're going to get oxidation in general. Yeah, that's why you have to put like zinc pills on boats because electrolysis causes all sorts of free electrons passing between different metals will cause one to oxidize more than the other, and then tofu dang. That's what you have. Brand could have been a lightning strike. Saw the video a few weeks ago. Coughed it up to poor construction. Yeah, it should be able to handle lightning strikes. Like you would think an engineer would know that, but I guess not. Scott Pollen, GME earnings down because I said they'd be up. My bad. BBBY brand, don't act a fool in court. They can treat you like one. Mm-hmm. Frozen State Production, my BBBY is my Roth account. Looking at buying now and GMG when we get our cash. Buying No Labs and GMG. Ditto. I would love to be able to get in some long-term plays as well as dividend plays and then just check out. Just be in a hammock or in a business class seat, seeing the world, taking monkey butt places she never thought she would see nor appreciate. And we go from there. All right, 11:26. We got 4 minutes left, and I'm almost right at the end here. BW Brand Houston, is there any purple lights or blue glowy lights at the meetup, or you smell faint scent of bleach? Consider putting on sunscreen and wearing shades. I don't even know what that means, but okay. All right. Galvanic corrosion. There you go. That's what I'm looking for. Galvanic series. You have to watch out for those. Okay. Guys, got anything else for me? Was that it? Can I go? What do you think? That cat, you got anything? A little round pound to mound? Round mound to pound? Oh, stretch it out. Stretch it out, you little maggot. Oh, yeah. That's right. Get your claw caught and have a good scratch. Okay, well, I mean, that's okay for a nighttime show. I will see you guys Friday. Unless, of course, again, if like some crazy S1 documents get filed tomorrow, then I'll make an emergency show and we'll do that. But otherwise, I'll see you guys on Friday. And Brand was talking about the uncoated UVA BC lamps people have been using meetups, giving everyone sunburns. Oh, I heard about that. Yes. They're like, it makes everyone look cool. So rather than using like a regular black light, they just like bring in UV lamps and everyone gets sunburns and their retina's burned. So don't do that. Just make Christmas lights and let me eat shrimp cocktail. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Anyway, I'll see you guys on Friday and take care of yourselves. Have a great night. Pet a dog, poke a cat in the belly, teach a child how to swear. That's your homework until I see you guys on Friday. All right. Have a great night. Peace. And not that one. How about wait, where's the other one? That one. This one? This one. This one. This one.
Houston, we have a problem.
Charity Tuesday, there's also a Christmas ornament with me on both sides. So you can win this Christmas ornament and put it on your tree for next year.